Today, we are going to talk about a really clever paper called OntoKG. It tackles a massive problem. How do we get AI to actually understand our world when all of our digital knowledge is, well, a complete and total mess? Let's dive in.
So, I want you to imagine something. Picture the biggest library in the world. It has literally everything ever written. Every fact, every story. But there's no card catalog, no system, nothing, just endless shelves of books. How would you ever find anything? It'd be impossible, right? Well, that's basically the internet, and that's the problem we're dealing with.
And our prime example of this giant, messy library is Wikidata. You've probably used it without even knowing it. It's one of the biggest knowledge bases out there, and it powers countless AI applications.
And when I say big, I mean absolutely colossal. We're talking more than 100 million different entries. That's people, places, companies, scientific concepts, you name it, it's all in there, put there by people from all over the world. The sheer amount of data is just mind-boggling.
But here's the catch. Because anyone can add to it, it's incredibly inconsistent. The same exact piece of information might be recorded in 10 different ways. So while it's super rich with facts, for a computer trying to make sense of it all, it's a total nightmare.
So how in the world do you clean up that kind of chaos? Well, the OntoKG paper has this really beautiful, elegant idea at its core, and it all boils down to separating information into just two buckets, intrinsic and relational. The fancy term for this is an ontology-oriented approach. Now, ontology sounds complicated, but it's really just a way of defining what things are and how they relate to each other. So this whole approach is about thinking about the structure of the knowledge first. Instead of just connecting dots randomly and trying to clean it up later, you start with a clear plan, a schema. The goal is to build a map of knowledge that's actually usable.
And this slide lays out that core idea perfectly. On one side, you have intrinsic attributes. Think of these as the facts that tell you what something is. A person's date of birth, for example. On the other side, you have relational edges. These tell you how something connects to other things, like who a person is married to. That one simple split, it changes everything. Let's make this real with a quick example. Take Apple Inc. The number of employees it has, that's intrinsic. It's a fact about Apple. The products it makes, like the iPhone, also intrinsic. But who founded Apple? That's relational. It's a connection between Apple and another entity, Steve Jobs. Who owns a big chunk of it? Relational again, a connection to Berkshire Hathaway. You see, this simple classification is the key to building the whole graph.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually apply it to that mess of 100 million entries in Wikidata? Let's walk through the actual process they built. This diagram gives us a fantastic bird's eye view. Over on the left, you've got the raw, tangled mess from Wikidata. In the middle, you have their transformation system, which uses that schema we talked about, basically a set of clear rules, to sort everything out. And on the right, that's the end result, a beautifully clean, organized, and queryable graph. So if we break it down, it's really three main steps. First, they clean things up. They use rules to filter out about 2/3 of the junk, leaving a core set of high-quality, human-vetted knowledge. Second, they classify and route everything. Entities get sorted into one of 8 main categories, and their properties get filed into 94 different modules. And finally, they export all of that neatly organized data into a pristine graph. Okay, so that sounds like a ton of work. But what's the payoff? This is where it gets really, really exciting. Because once you have this clean, structured graph, it unlocks what the paper calls 5 superpowers. And look, this isn't just about having a cleaner database. This is a real game changer. Suddenly, you can do things you couldn't do before. You can analyze the very structure of our collective knowledge. You can find hidden errors in the data we use to train AI. You can build way smarter systems that understand context. You can even create custom mini knowledge graphs on any topic you want, or guide our big language models to pull out information more accurately. I mean, check out this domain customization. It's so cool. Because all the knowledge is sorted into these neat little modules, you can just pick the ones you want. Say you need a knowledge graph about geopolitics. You just select the government, legal, and politics modules, and boom, you instantly get a clean, focused subgraph on that topic. It's like building your own custom-made Wikipedia on the fly. Here's another superpower, auditing. Because the OntoKG system is built on fundamental logic, not just machine learning labels, it can act as an impartial judge. So if two different AI training sets disagree on how to label something, this system can step in and act as the tiebreaker. It helps us find and fix errors in the very data we're using to build our AI. And this stuff gets real, measurable results. Let's take entity disambiguation, which is just the task of figuring out if you're talking about Michael Jordan, the basketball player, or Michael B. Jordan, the actor. Well, the OntoKG system outperforms the previous best system, Yago 4.5. You can see right here in the chart, it gets a 2.4 percentage point bump in accuracy. And in this field, that is a really big deal. So let's pull back from all the technical stuff for a second. Let's talk about the big picture. Why does any of this really matter?
If you're going to remember one thing from this entire explainer, what should it be?
It's this. Simple as that. At the end of the day, making AI smarter isn't just about bigger models or faster computers. It comes down to the quality of the data we give them. If we build smarter data structures, we will get smarter, more capable, and more reliable AI. Period. And that kind of leaves us with a pretty powerful final thought. We're all obsessed with the race to build bigger and bigger AI models. But maybe, just maybe, the next huge leap forward in AI won't be a bigger model at all. Maybe it'll be a better organized library, a better card catalog for all of human knowledge.